Hello everyone, welcome back to Joy's Creative Finger. I was just working on Lendi Empire episode 6. It's a Christmas episode where she goes back to Austria with her family, but she's obviously come here ahead of time to get the house ready. And I stumbled upon a way to make snow. There's no cheats, no mods, and it connects all the other plots in the area. You know, in Winterberg, when you're on a particular plot, you can get your sim to wander around to different areas. So those particular plots are all connected in some way. And if you perform this trick on all the plots, then it would connect and completely cover the entire area, and it's just brilliant. It looks so real. The water looks iced over in some way, and it looks like real heavy snow, at least a few inches deep, has fallen. The texture is great, so it's not just plain white on the floor. You can see dips of grey, highlights of yellow, and that's what happens with snow because it starts to melt very quickly under the sun. The Sims walk over it and there's no obstruction whatsoever. The cars ride over it, and that's great. I think it's just a real heavy downpour of snow that's completely covered the entire landscape, and it's extended past the plot, which is really important when you're talking about snow. This is the most realistic layout of snow that I have seen in the game, even though I say so myself. However, I do wish that we had snow on trees, but look at how far in the distance this snow trail, extends. And the water looks a bit icy, and that's because the object that I use also kind of went into the water. But there's no obstruction in gameplay whatsoever. So we're going to get started, and I'm going to show you how it's done. It's so simple, there's nothing unique about it. But I will obviously start with covering the roof in white, which is a simple technique that a lot of Sims 4 players use. So you just select a white roof to cover everywhere, and it looks like heavy snow has poured down on the roof. However, after that heavy look of snow on the roof, the ground still looked green, and that's unusual. So here we are. I'm covering up every inch of roof that there is in view. And then I go on to change the borders on the side here to make it look heavy and clumpy, as though, snow has been wedged at the tips there, as you can see. Now it's a 64 by 64 plot. She has a very vast space, lots of grounds where her grandchildren are going to run around. But I think it's going to be really exciting to put the snow in place as well. So I made use of a rug. I first tried the comfy, where is it? Here we are. A comfortable plush rug. But when I enlarged it, it covered the interior of the house, and that was silly. That's no use having snow inside the house. So I used a shag, tell and run rug from the bowling pack. So get to the very edge of your border, and then enlarge it. So you know how to upsize an object or downsize, but watch the porch of the building. The porch changes from brown to white, and we don't want that. Once that porch turns white, it means that the inside of my house is covered in snow. So I still hold the rug in place and begin to downsize inch by inch until that porch right at the door entrance turns brown. And now it's perfect, and I can't go any further. So I let go of the rug, and this is my first layer of snow. Look at that texture, it's brilliant. And the rug, albeit rectangle, doesn't reflect in the landscape at all. It's broken up in bits and pieces, and that's just great. It looks like the snow's melted away from certain parts of the land. This is a really good look for snow in this game as far as I'm concerned. So look in there, you can see there's no snow on the internal part of this property. Now I'm going to repeat the same process at the back of this land, and I'm just going to place the rug right at the end in the middle, right there, and then start to upsize it. Keep your eye on where the pool is underneath the overhang in the property. It's turned white now. That means the property's interior is white. So I'm downsizing until it turns grey. That means that it's good to go. So you see, I'm moving it back and forth, and you can see, let's see, go on, there, it's turned white. You don't want that, you want it to stay grey. It means that the interior part of your property is not covered in snow. And then obviously you let it go. And just as you can see, it's looking good already. Now I have to repeat the same process on either side of the property, the left and the right, to cover up completely. And the interesting thing is, once you've done this, you repeat the same process on the other plots and they will all connect. The rug extends that far. So once again, just keep your eye on the pool area. There's a patio there that's going to turn white. As soon as it turns white, it means that the floor inside the house is now white. We don't want that. So you reduce it by a few taps and there we go. Let go of your rug. Or indeed, let go of the pile of snow. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the side here, and that should be it for this plot. So yeah, so I took the roof off so you can see how the rug does not cover the internal part of the house. If you go on to use the other plush rug, then it won't work. So see, now I'm going to reduce, downsize the rug, and there we go. So always check that the rug hasn't gone into the house, because then it's of no use. And even the lake looks like it's frozen over in some way. The little lake that I built beside the house there. Now there's an open space at the top here where Agnes does a bit of gardening, and there's an open roof in some way above it. So it makes sense to make believe that snow has fallen through, which is exactly what would happen if this amount of snow had fallen. And just, it makes sense to have snow there. And then this is what it looks like. Ta-da! I think I'm going to put another one on the back here, because that balcony is exposed in some way, but I don't think I'll put any snow on the bottom porch. There's no need for that, because it looks like it's adequately covered by the actual balcony that I'm working on right now. So there you go, completely covered in snow. And as soon as I had done this, I thought, wow, it works. It looks like snow fell quite a bit in the area. And yeah, I just thought I'd share it with you all. Now obviously, as I had shown in the beginning, the other houses in the area were all covered up as well in the same way. As I've mentioned before, just repeat the same process. I'm just going to turn the lights to different shades. Now look at this. Look at the texture of the floor. Look at the texture of the snow, I mean to say. It's perfect. It just looks like very heavy snow. Now some of the mods that some players use make the snow a little bit lighter, so you do see the green grounds. But in this case, I love that the snow has fallen quite heavily. And if you don't want the snow, then remember the location where you placed the rug and click on it and delete. On the other hand, you can save the plot without snow, so that if you have difficulty getting rid of the rugs, then you can obviously demolish and re-download your house from the gallery. So this is what it looks like. Tell me what you think in the comments below. This amount of snow by just using 4 rugs. Think about that. 4 rugs. I think it's perfect. Just imagine you were in a plane and you looked down. That is so realistic. This is how snow is supposed to be unevenly spread across a particular area that is probably colder than the rest of the surrounding areas. Now this house here, and that one, and the other one over here, and there is another plot, but I can't see it because there's no house on it. But you just need to repeat the same process, and you can imagine how far it would spread and how far it would cover. I hope this has been useful for you. I just realized that I haven't placed this on there. Here we go. So I hope it's been useful for you if you want to give your Sims a white Christmas. Agnes and her family they are going to have a lovely white Christmas here. The kids are going to play outside in the snow. I obviously have to get them dressed nice and warm. That was the interesting thing. Some of the Sims were walking around, as you can see here, and they're not in appropriate clothing. And interestingly, this is Myson, which is Agnes's son, so he's not supposed to be here, which is odd. Because as far as the game is concerned, well, as far as my series is concerned, this is Austria, and he's supposed to be way back at home. So let me know how you get on using this version of Snow in your game. It's very safe, no mods, no cheats, no damage to your system. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a lovely day. Bye!